I don't think this turned out too bad. Hello again team, it's Jess or JashiiCorrin, and welcome back for day 7 of the Month of Planning with Me series. As you can see, this weekly, I'm calling it a weekly, this weekly's all filled up, so it is on to the next page. Of course, I didn't have a video like this for you yesterday because I had the week that was, so I've already actually started here. But before we get on to today's tidbit, I figured I'd just fill in my planner as usual. That's all I have in my checklist today, so flipping on back. You can see on my monthly log, I've kind of just started filling it with memories and little other bits and pieces. So I'm going to go and fill in yesterday's one. There we go, just a note about how I spent the entire day marking. For my mood, because I was marking, wasn't really in the best mood, so probably yellow. And in terms of gratitude, I think I was mostly grateful for Stay Focused, which is a Google Chrome add-on that lets you block certain websites. So when I was doing my marking, because I kept on falling back onto social media, I blocked Instagram, YouTube, Pinterest, all of that, so that I could actually get my work done. And that's not a typo, that's actually what it's called. For the productivity tracker, got a few things to fill in here. Didn't really have any personal time yesterday, it was mainly just like a work day, but... Quite a productive day yesterday, so although I wasn't necessarily feeling my best, I did get a lot done. Flipping over, we have the habits and steps. The PowerSheets one I filled in preemptively because I'm going to do it as part of this video, but all of the rest of them have already been done. Social media. I also need to take some pictures for Instagram today, so I'm going to put that on my list. There we go. Nothing to add to this. My to-do list I filled in on the weekend, and you can see I've started making some progress on a couple of things. Nothing extra to check off of this just yet. And then on to my meal log. So the reason I've been waiting for today's tidbit is because today's tidbit is all about meal logging. So just quickly filling in what I had for breakfast. I had rice bubbles, or I think some people call them crispies. They're essentially just little puffed pieces of rice. They're quite tasty. So as you guys probably know, this is my kind of go-to style of meal log, where I just have a column for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and then a column for snacks. Now, of course, this suits the way that I eat quite well, because I don't typically do a lot of snacking, unless I'm at home, which I am currently, so maybe not the best choice for this month. And I typically just record each of my meals with a little circle beside it. This circle is here so that if I wanted to color code my meals, say in terms of their nutritional value, I could do that. I haven't started doing it this month because I'm really not sure if I want to continue, but the little circle's just there as kind of like a bullet point, I guess you could say. I use my meal log for a couple of reasons. One, accountability. Not that it really works because I still essentially just eat whatever the heck I want. 2, it really helps when it comes to looking at my budget. Because a lot of the time the things that I buy when I'm out are food related. If I have a charge on my account that I'm not too sure where it came from, typically I can go back to my meal log and see what I probably spent that money on. And 3, as far as the dinners are concerned in particular, it's really helpful to have a log of the meals that I have had when it comes to planning new ones. This also came quite in handy when I set up our meal planning cheat sheet, but I'm going to talk more about that in a tidbit later this week. So this is one style of meal log I've used before, but there have been a couple of others. This one is from November of 2018. It's the same style again, but you can see I did actually go and colour in each of those circles to represent the general health of the meal. In October 2018, I tried to do it without the columns and just wrote it down as a list of all the things I ate. But I also didn't end up finishing this, as you can see, and wrote myself a note to say I really do prefer having the columns. Similar idea again for this one, which was in September of 2018. But I also included a little key at the side here to give myself kind of a rating for the day in terms of how well I ate. And continuing with that whole love-hate relationship that me and the meal log have, didn't actually end up finishing this one off. On to one that's actually a different style though, we have the one for August 2018. And instead of having my 4 columns like I've kind of become accustomed to, in this one I instead used a little Dutch door. So I had a little section for each day and just included the meals that I actually had. So for instance on day 1 I had breakfast, lunch and dinner. On day 5 though I also had a snack but no breakfast. And again, didn't finish this one off. In December of 2019 I also tried a different style again. This one fits to a calendar layout. So again we have a box for each day of the month. And within each of those boxes, I gave myself 1 line for breakfast, 2 lines for lunch, 2 lines for dinner, and 2 lines for snacks. I did actually like this style quite a lot, but something I didn't like was that I couldn't easily see all of the meals of one type. So on my column 1, I can just read down the column to get all of the breakfast, the lunches, the dinners. This one I'd actually have to go through individually and have a look at them. I also gave myself a column for food ideas here, but I didn't actually end up using it. Something that I tried to do in November, which I do really like the idea of, it's just that November was really busy, so I didn't really utilize it as well as I could. But the thing I was trying to do was also write down how I was feeling before and after, as well as the general health rating. Each of these was rated on a 4-colour scale, so black being the worst and purple being the best, generally speaking. Because of course in this one I didn't have set spaces designated for breakfast, lunch, dinner and snacks, I used a little key on the side here just to write down what each of these food items was for. So what meal were they for? And for the most part I tried to write these down in order of consumption. I like the idea, it just didn't get utilized very well. Sometimes I use my meal logs really well and fill them in completely, and sometimes I certainly do not. I'm really hoping that this month I do have a full meal log by the end of it. Having had my PowerSheets video go up yesterday though, it is now time to jump into my PowerSheets and fill in anything that I can in there. So working from the top down, I did not do any decluttering of my digital folders yesterday. I didn't do anything related to money, except for not spending any, but we'll get to that. I haven't done any of the summarizing. I have technically done some preparation for term 2. There we go, some. I haven't listened to any more of the 5-second rule yet. The 1 month of planning with me is going along. And of course I haven't quite started my May tending list considering we're not even a third of the way through April. In terms of my weekly action items, the only one that I worked on yesterday was the towel washing, so I can colour that one in. And then, as I mentioned, I did not spend any money yesterday, but I also didn't have any leisure time. Nothing to fill in my teacher planner today, but I'm probably going to be using that come later this week so that I can get ready for the classes I'll be teaching next week. Hopefully you guys enjoyed today's tidbit. If you have any questions about meal logging, either from me or anybody else, please do leave them in the comments below. I'd be curious to know if you guys use a meal log. Obviously I have my reasons for it, but if you do, what are your reasons? Thank you for watching, team. If you liked today's video, please do make sure to give it a big thumbs up, and if you wanted to see more from me, feel free to go check out one of my other videos. Until next time, bye!